I want to go to Sean, who's talking about regulations in Iowa. Hello, Sean. You're on the Glenn Beck program.
Hey, Glenn. How you doing?
Very good.
Yesterday, my wife and I went out and picked up a feeder mouse for my son's ball python. And we've been doing this forever. We've had this snake a couple years. And for the first time, when I got to the counter, I had to fill out a form, name, address, phone number, the whole thing, which basically said that I would treat the mouse humanely on its transport back home to be strangled and eaten by a 3-foot snake. And I'm going to have to do this every week when I buy a mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my. You have to sign that you're going to treat it humanely on its way to the death.
Well, I told my wife, I felt bad for it. It was a good thing that we came in a convertible because at least it got a nice ride back to our house.
A little breeze blowing through its fur.
You know what?
Nice. Something to give it.
Hey, I read Mouse and the Motorcycle. Ralph was a great mouse. It was great. Hanging out under the grandfather clock there for a while. Have you thought about getting like a little Matchbox toy for the mouse?
I'm trying, but they don't last very long. I don't think they get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's about a 6-minute drive from the pet store to our house, and, well, that's about the last 6 minutes they get.
Whoa. I hope you at least had a little ratatouille situation. Let them cook something up, you know what I mean? I don't understand. You just putting them right into the cage?
Do you at least give him a last cigarette or a blindfold?
No, we put him in the opposite end of the tank with the snake, and the snake, gives him a hug and things.
Gives him a hug.
See, now there's a problem. Does the snake know about the ban on hugs?
Clearly not.
No.
Clearly
I tried
not.
telling him, it's a bad touch. He just won't listen.
Oh, man. Sean, thank you very much for your phone call.
That's kind of reminiscent of Whole Foods a couple of years ago when they banned live lobsters in their store because they were worried about inhumane treatment.
Wait. That's not a ban.
They would not transport them to the store anymore and sell them in the store because they were worried about the humane treatment on the way to the store. And it was like, do you know they're going to be boiled alive after they're purchased? And you're worried about the humane treatment on the way? Oh, and by the way, they're not human. I don't know if you know this about lobsters. Not human!
But see, you know what? I don't have a problem with it. That made me really, really have a hard time going into Whole Foods.
Me too.
Okay, had a really hard time because these people are so disconnected from reality. They're already in outer space.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's a private business that wants to do that.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
a private business wants to be insane all you want.
Yeah.
You want to say, if you're the pet store and you want to say, I want to make sure that this mouse that we're selling because we know they're going to be fed to giant snakes.
Yes,
we want you to
strangled
we want you to sign this that you're going to be human. You can do that all you want. But me as a mouse buyer, I'm going to go find another mouse shop. Okay, I'm not going to go shopping. This is the government. And that's where this whole thing falls apart. This is our country is being led down the path of insanity, and we are just taking it. We can't. Now, you want to break the mouse or the mouse policy? You want to break that regulation? How do you do it? We all know that's crazy. Now, how do you do it? Hey, hang on just a sec. Before I get to that, what happened? What happened in some politician's life? What phone call did they get where they said, I have to tell you this horrible story about this mouse that was abused on the way to be fed to a snake? What story was told to this person? So they said, I've got to sponsor some legislation. I've got to call.
It's amazing.
The pet police, the mouse police. I don't even know who you call, but I need some more regulation because of this tragic story. Who's thinking of this stuff? So, how do you break it? You break it by finding the regulation that everyone can agree is insane. And that is, we want you to be really, really humane, but also conscious of salt content. We want you to be really, really humane. We want you to care about the homeless, but we only want you to care about the homeless in your tax dollars. We want you to be neighbors. We want you to be friends. We want you to believe that you can make a better country. However, don't feed anybody anything. What? No, you can't bring food directly to homeless people. What? Get out of the shelter. We're here. We got the homeless covered. You get out. You go do whatever you do. But if you're doing it with a mouse, make sure you do it humanely.
And if you stop for a soda on the way home, make sure it's under 16 ounces.
So we all know that's insane. We also know that the politicians are going to say that America we can't cut all this spending. We can't cut. Who's going to take care of the poor? I don't know. How are you asking me that question while you're trying to regulate me out of business of helping the poor? How can you possibly ask who's going to help the poor while at the same time you are making it damn near impossible for me to help the poor? You're fixing and rigging the game.